Good morning, everyone. Virgo uh, being fought over isn't romantic. It's not proof of your value. It's not validation of your desirability. It's not evidence that you're special enough to inspire conflict. It's dysfunction. It's people treating you as prize instead of as person. It's ego battles using you as terrain. It's drama that has more to do with their issues than with your worth. So when content tells you there was hard fight over you, when it suggests people are competing for your attention or affection, it's romanticizing conflict that if it actually happened would be uncomfortable, not flattering. It's selling you on narrative where being objectified feels like being valued, but those aren't the same thing. Being fought over means being treated as possession to be claimed. Being valued means being seen as autonomous person whose choice matters. Can you tell the difference? One is ego food. The other is actual respect. Because here's what due to them lying creates: it suggests deception, hidden feelings, someone presenting false front while concealing true emotions. And that suggestion, it's designed to make you suspicious, make you question what you think you know, make you wonder who around you is being dishonest about their feelings. But content didn't specify who them is, didn't identify who's lying, didn't provide any actual information that would let you assess whether claim has merit. So you fill in the blank. You think of person you suspect has hidden feelings. You project your hopes or fears onto vague pronoun, and then you think content saw your situation when really you just matched your situation to deliberately vague template. Who are you imagining them to be? Notice you supplied that information, not the content. Because I need to address the evil eye emoji that suggests protection against negativity, against bad energy, against harm directed at you, and using it in context of fight over you and lying about feelings creates implication that someone's directing negative energy at you through their dishonesty, that concealed feelings are form of psychic attack, that you need protection from people who aren't being truthful about their emotions. But that's spiritual bypassing of relational dynamics. Turning normal human complexity, people being uncertain about feelings, people protecting themselves through concealment, people navigating their own confusion into energetic warfare requiring mystical protection. Most people who conceal feelings aren't attacking you, they're managing their own vulnerability in ways that might not be functional but that aren't malicious. Are you interpreting normal relational complexity as spiritual attack? Recognize when you're making things more dramatic than they are, because here's what how they truly feel promises: hidden truth beneath surface presentation, concealed emotion waiting to be revealed, gap between what's shown and what's real, and that promise, it's compelling because humans want to know what others really think and feel, want access to hidden internal states, want certainty about where we stand. But here's reality: you can't know what people truly feel. You can only know what they demonstrate through actions and what they communicate through words, their internal state that's inaccessible to you, and content claiming to reveal it isn't actually accessing their feelings. It's just making claims you can't verify. So when content tells you someone's lying about how they truly feel, it's creating narrative you can't confirm or deny. It's making you suspicious of someone's presentation without giving you information you can actually use. What are you supposed to do with claim that someone feels differently than they're showing? Assess whether information is actionable or just anxiety producing. Because I want to talk about what hard fight actually means. If people genuinely had conflict about you, if there was actual confrontation or competition, you'd probably know, you'd experience the fallout. You'd be aware of the tension. Conflicts don't usually happen in complete isolation from the person they're about. Drama creates ripples. Fights produce evidence. So if content claims there was hard fight over you that you're completely unaware of, either it happened so far from your actual life that it's irrelevant, or it's being exaggerated beyond recognition, or it didn't happen and you're being told flattering fiction. Any of those possibilities should make you skeptical, not validated. What evidence exists of this supposed fight? Require proof instead of accepting flattering claims. Because here's what this narrative actually does: it creates triangle. You, person supposedly lying about feelings, and unspecified others who were fighting. And triangles, they're inherently dramatic. They create intrigue. They make relational situation feel significant and complicated, but they're also usually dysfunctional. Healthy relationships don't involve lying about feelings while others fight over you. Healthy relationships involve direct communication and clear choosing. So, narrative that sounds romantic or validating, it's actually describing dysfunction. And if you're hoping it's true, if you're excited by idea of fight over you, you might be more attracted to drama than to health. And that's worth examining. Do you want functional relationship or dramatic one? Your answer determines what you'll accept, because I also need to address people who consume lots of this content. If you're regularly clicking on promises about fights over you, hidden feelings, people lying about their emotions, you're training yourself in paranoia, in suspicion, in belief that people around you are constantly concealing truth from you, and that training it damages your capacity for trust, makes you question genuine expressions, makes you look for hidden agendas even when none exist. So, consumption pattern isn't just wasting time. It's actively harming your relational capacity by teaching you to distrust what people show you. How has this content affected your ability to trust? Assess whether consumption is making you more or less capable of healthy relationship. Because here's what you actually need instead of this content. You need to trust demonstrated behavior over claimed hidden feelings. You need to believe what people show you consistently over time. You need to stop looking for concealed truth and start responding to visible patterns. If someone's lying about their feelings, if gap exists between internal state and external presentation, that gap is information. It tells you they're not capable of or willing to be direct with you. And that incapacity or unwillingness, that's what matters, not what they supposedly really feel underneath. Because relationship functions on what's communicated, not on what's concealed. on what's demonstrated, not on what's hidden. So even if someone truly feels differently than they're showing, their choice to conceal rather than communicate is the relevant information. That's what tells you whether they're capable of healthy partnership. Are you chasing hidden feelings or assessing demonstrated capacity? One keeps you stuck in speculation. Other gives you actionable information. Because ultimately, here's the final truth: there probably wasn't fight over you. There probably isn't someone lying about their true feelings in ways that matter to your life. There's just content activating your ego through flattering narratives about being fought over and concealing your desirability from you. And you can consume that, can let it create temporary feeling of significance, can let it feed fantasies about hidden admirers and dramatic competition, or you can recognize it as manipulation, as technique, as content that serves creators' engagement metrics while doing nothing for your actual relational life. And if you choose recognition, if you choose to see this clearly, then stop consuming it. Stop clicking on promises about fights and lies and hidden feelings. Stop feeding the pattern that keeps you in fantasy instead of reality, and start engaging with actual life, with actual people, with actual relationships built on actual communication. That's where real connection lives. Not in dramatic narratives about fights and concealment, but in honest, direct, messy, imperfect human interaction. Choose that, or keep consuming comforting fiction, but don't pretend they're the same thing, because they're not. They never were, they never will be, and you know that. You've always known that. The only question is whether you're ready to act on what you know. Are you? Nobody's fighting over you in ways that matter if you don't know about it. Nobody's hiding feelings that are relevant to your life if they're not communicating them. Stop consuming drama narratives and start building actual relationships with actual people who communicate directly. That's where real connection exists. Everything else is just ego food that keeps you passive while making you feel important. You're better than that. Act like it.